Hi guys, we're here today with Michael Terrell, owner and managing director of Building Approvals and Advice. Here at King Builders, we've been working alongside Building Approvals and Advice coming up to 6 years now. Welcome, Michael.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for having me, Andy.
Beginning the build and design process can often be very daunting. Clients often don't know where to start. Here at King Builders, we're committed to giving as much information as possible to help this process run as smoothly as possible. The build can't start without certification. So we're here with Michael. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself and Building Approvals and Advice.
Yes, for sure. So I'm the director at Building Approvals and Advice. I'm a licensed certifier, so we get licensed the same as builders by the QBCC. I also come from an engineering background, so I'm a structural engineer. I've had about 20 years experience in the construction industry, and the last 10 I've been working as a private certifier. Building Approvals and Advice is based in Kedron. We're a small team, there's 10 of us, with 4 certifiers and 6 admin team. Our main focus is the residential market, so we work a lot with homes, renovations, townhouses, but we also do pools and demolitions and distressed buildings. So we've been going for 7 years, and although we've expanded with now 4 certifiers, our focus has always been around safety and making sure that we have safer homes for Queenslanders. That's our internal motto. The way that we do it is to work with the industry's best. So we want to work with the best building designers, architects, engineers, town planners, and obviously the best builders. And
what does a building certifier actually do?
So building certifiers look after the compliance side of the building process. So we've got to make sure that the plans and the builder actually comply with the local authorities' regulations, as well as the state and national regulations.
And what's the process of getting a building approval, and how long does this usually take?
So the building approval process is quite a linear process. It starts off with a fee proposal. So the certifier will actually require a set of plans to start the process off. From that, they'll be able to gain a scope of works just to understand what's actually going on. Is it a house raise? Is it a new house? So they'll be able to provide a fee proposal at that stage. From there, if you're happy with that, and if the client signs the engagement agreement and pays the fees, they can then go on to carry out all the searches so that the certifier then understands what are the overlays that are affecting that particular site. So in Queensland, we have lots of regulations around what we can and can't build. And so that's what the certifier is checking right at the beginning to understand, is there flooding? Is there an overlay for noise corridors? Just so that we understand what we have to comply with. Once we've carried out the searches, it then comes to the certifier to be able to do the assessment. And so this is where we do most of our work. We actually check the architectural/building design plans to ensure that there's compliance. So we'll carry out the checks. We'll actually go through a lot of checklists, and those are related to the National Construction Code, as well as the Queensland Development Code, which is the QDCs. So once we've worked that out, we'll then issue the client or the applicant an RFI. So in the construction industry, there's lots of jargon. So an RFI is a request for information. So it's basically just a list of what's required to be able to get these plans approved. And some of the things in there might be complicated, and some of them might be really straightforward. So we'll issue an RFI, which would be things like QBCC insurance, engineering, Form 15, energy requirements, but there could also be referrals. So that's where it makes it really difficult for us to understand how long the process is going to be, because it really depends how far the client has gone down that particular path. So some of the time it's really straightforward. It might take a week because everything that's required has been issued right at the beginning. Other times when we issue our RFI, there might be a trigger for a referral, such as a build over stormwater or town planning or a relax, and those things can take anywhere between 6 weeks up to 6 months. So the process itself, although being straightforward, can sometimes be frustrating and it can sometimes take time. So it's always good to talk to industry professionals right at the beginning to understand that process. And if there's ever any questions around jargon, to really talk to the building designers and to the builders, because they will have done this before.